everyone say quickly who else is in the room? So you guys in Spain know who else is in the room.
Jake.
Kim. Jess.
Enrico.
Hannah.
Okay, so did you get that, guys?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so basically, I just want to talk through one of the most fundamental things that I'm going to share with you as a business, and it's about good habits, or for all of us, good habits that we all must develop and get into. Every good business that I work with has what I'm just about to talk with you, has this as a fundamental, sort of almost a cornerstone of what they do. And it doesn't seem like too much like rocket science, but believe me, a lot of businesses don't do it very well. And that is good quality feedback through a regular one-to-one conversation with whoever's your boss. Doesn't sound like rocket science, does it? But it's amazing how often I'll go into a business and they'll say, well, I said, so how regularly, guys, do you have one-to-ones with your people? And they'll be shuffling their feet and sort of looking at the floor, and someone will say, well, I think I had one 4 or 5 months ago with one of my guys in the team, and that's not really where we're at. Okay, so first of all, I just wanted to sort of try to encourage, and this is a two-way, the reason why I want to speak to everybody is let me explain what's going to happen. What I'm going to share with you, interestingly enough, is actually, I'm going to share this with all of you before I've even shared it with the guys, with the management team. Because I want to help you guys understand, this is what you can expect. This is, as part of being part of VUBA, you can expect and should expect to have a good chat with whoever you report to on a monthly basis. And I'm going to share with you what that needs to look like, okay? And then if you've got any questions or anything like that, then please fire away. I hope what I'm going to share with you doesn't appear to be too outrageous or scary, because it's not meant to be outrageous or scary. But anyway, let me just explain so what this is about. So I need to make sure that the guys in Spain, so can you see my hand there? If I was to write around there, is that going to be okay?
Fine.
Cool, okay. All right, so basically, I always talk about there are 3 areas that we need to talk about on a regular basis. Okay? What do you think those 3 things could be or should be? Anyone got any ideas?
Skills.
Okay. I'm going to put that down into this one. Skills. I'm going to actually, Jake said that, by the way, guys, and I'm actually going to put something as development. So skills and the development of said skills. What else do we think would be a good thing for us to talk about?
How they're generally feeling, basically.
How they're feeling.
Generally.
Yeah. So that is what I describe as the welfare of the person. So how is someone doing? And that is not just inside of work. Now, naturally, we don't want necessarily, it's not a psychotherapy session or anything like that, but it's important for us to sort of chat about stuff, particularly if we think it might have an impact on work. Because, crikey, we all go through our ups and downs, whether we like it or not, we're human beings. So we go have good times, we have less good times, but it's good for us to share that stuff. Like I say, it's not a psychotherapy session, but it is just okay, let's have a chat about how things are going, generally. What do we think is the bit in the middle, which we haven't yet covered?
Performance.
Right. Okay, so that is performance. How are you doing against what the business expects you to do? And that will, and then basically, so that's just, I call this output. Because in every job that we do, we are paid a salary, money, to deliver an output. Whatever that output is, that's different for everyone in this, depending on the team you do and depending on what you do. But we are all paid to deliver some form of output. So all of this is connected, because let's just say you imagine yourself that you're having a chat with whoever sort of you report to, and your output is great. Okay, you've had a cracking month. By however we measure that, and we'll talk about what that might look like. Then you also need to get feedback, and that's what happens over here. Sorry for the lack of soot. Can you still see that, Spain?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is where we get feedback. So, in this situation, we get feedback. And I would hope, if I train the management team properly, that when someone has had a really good month, what kind of feedback would we hope to get?
Positive.
Correct. Kim said positive. Absolutely right. So we good feedback, positive feedback, well done, excellent. How can we make sure that we carry on with that, and all those kinds of things. So that's good. There might be a situation where, for example, you've had what I would describe as a classic sort of okay normal month, which will have had some good bits and not so good bits. That's fine. Again, feedback is around, okay, so let's look at that. What things went well, what things didn't go so well, how do we sort those things out? And because guess what? No one is perfect, believe it or not. I know Jess is close, but not on everyone's close. But basically, there are going to be once in a while occasions where we don't have such great months, for whatever different reason. And the situation here is that this isn't about beating people up or anything like that. This is about, okay, let's talk about it. Let's try to understand why your output this month is not as good as the output that we've had previously. What's happened? Let's try to understand it, and let's try to make sure we sort of steer things back onto the right track. But can you see how important it is that you get that regularly?
Definitely.
So that's really what we're talking about today, is the importance. And one thing, guys, that I want to try to encourage you, and this, I'm actually, you're hearing this before the managers have been taught how to do this, by the way, because there's not a huge amount of, it's not a massive amount the managers need to be taught, but there's some ideas which I'll take them through. But this is what I'm going to try to encourage you, whoever you report to, you need to develop this, by the way, which is honest. The word being honest, and it's safe. Because, every once in a while, hopefully not too frequently, but every once in a while, that might be slightly uncomfortable. Because sometimes when we're honest, we say things that we don't feel comfortable to say, but we need to. With the idea that, actually, if I say something honest and slightly uncomfortable now, in the long term, that's going to be a good thing for us to do. Sometimes when we don't say things and we hold it in and we bottle it and we bottle it and we bottle it, what tends to happen in that situation? Generally, not many good things happen with that situation. It's much better, dare I say it, to get some of that stuff out and chat it through. So. This area here is something that I'm going to encourage you and who do you report to, Kim? Man on your right. Okay. So between, let's say, you and Jake, you're going to want to develop this, what I call this feedback loop. And by the way, this is two-way. So there may be occasions, very rarely, there may be occasions when Jay has to say something which, the performance is maybe slightly not one of your better months, let's say, and there needs to be an honest chat about that. That's fine. But equally, Kim, there may be some times when, heaven forbid, Jake is pissing you off for whatever reason. Can't imagine. But there might be something that's going on or whatever, and you kind of need to get that out too. So this is what I call as a feedback loop. But we're comfortable and we're okay because this is safe. And you can't, so it's something to be developed over a few months, but where we say, look guys, okay, look, we're in the feedback place now. We know it's safe, we know it's honest, and we're just going to chat some stuff through. Okay? But this is a discipline. This is what I call, this is the key muscle of any sort of business really, which is that if we are really hoping to have an unbelievably good company and a good business, if we really believe in that brand over there called Vuba, and we really want to make it special, then these are some basic things that we've got to really get on top of. Okay? So, does that make sense?
Yeah.
I hope, this is not to be feared, not to be, this is just stuff that we kind of need to get to grips with, okay? There are some things that I'm going to need everybody's help with, okay? First of all, by the way, if something here isn't, let's just say, heaven forbid, you've had a tricky month, then where do you think the answers are going to be in order to change that and improve that? Where do you think the answers will be?
Development.
Down here. You're not just going to be able to, oh yeah, okay, you've had a bad month, click fingers, you're going to have a good. There's basically, this bit here, just so you know, is made up of attitudes, skills, behaviour, and knowledge. So basically, this thing here, where I need your help, is that for every department within this business, we need to create what I call is a skills and development profile for each area of the business. And what I mean by that is if we can imagine, I'm going to ask each team, so Enrique, I'm sure you can sort of organise it, but each team is going to need to grab some time and going to say to themselves, what if we could, I know most of you are close to perfect, but if, none of us are quite there, but what if we were to look at what would be the perfect person if they were an SEO professional? What would that look like? What attitudes? I think we know because the last session that we had related to values, etc. I think we covered that quite well. It's more related to skills, behaviour, and even the behaviour we covered, I think, with regard to this. So it's more the skills and knowledge. So what are the skills and knowledge that, let's just say, an SEO specialist needs to have? Because once we've created that ideal profile, then that gives us some. Ubicam has a tool which I'm going to provide you guys with, which we'll load that into our system and give you the chance to rate yourself against that. And then in your case, Kim, Jake can do the same. And then basically what it will produce you is two versions, one Jake version, one you version of this stuff, of the skills and knowledge. And it should highlight, hopefully, exactly the same. But if there's a slight difference of opinion, then the whole idea is that you have a chat. And the idea behind that is that within probably a month or two, we've got each of you with a development plan in terms of how we're going to get you even better than you are at the moment. But there's a bit of work for us to do for each team. So for you guys, for the SEO team, we're going to need you, Jake, at some point to take the team away and say, okay, what is it we think what is the perfect SEO specialist and what skills do we need, what knowledge do we need in order to be that good? And then we need the same for PPC, we need the same for social, we need the same for web or whatever. Okay? But that then means that if we start to see something or someone struggling here, the answers are going to be sitting here in terms of how to help. any questions? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Okay, so what's going to happen from today? What's going to happen from today is that there's another half of everybody that I'm going to need to talk to in a minute. So I'm going to do the same. So everybody will be briefed about this. For the rest of the afternoon, I'm going to be working with the guys in the what I call the management team. So Tony, Paul, Enrique, Jake, Dan, Sam, and just to help them with this, to make sure that they're comfortable and okay about doing this, because everyone's learning. This is new for everybody. So, by the way, give these guys, be easy on Jake when you do the first one. And that goes for everybody. You know, everyone's learning on this, but the idea being is that as you know over time, it'll become you guys will kind of grow into it. The first one might be a bit clunky, but that's fine. But the idea being is that everybody, so that what happens from now is that over the next 4 weeks, please expect, and if you haven't heard anything, go to your immediate boss and say, right, when are we having our one-to-one? That needs to happen within the next 4 weeks. Okay? And I will explain, just so you know, that the purpose of that first session will be to set goals. So it's what do you guys want within your, what do you want to achieve this year? In terms of where would you like to see your career go, where would you like to see your skills and development go, and how in terms of your output and what you're doing and your capability and all that kind of stuff. So it's about setting goals. And that's for you to chat with whoever you manage, whoever manages you and works with you. And then next session will be, next month I'll take you through, once hopefully you've come up with these, because that's the other bit of homework, is to come up with those profiles. Then I'll show you the system that we've got, and how in your next one-to-one, you'll focus on that bit. Make sense?
Yeah. Definitely.
Great. Any questions from Spain? Cool. Okay, guys. So thanks for your time. Is it sunny over there?